Well, hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Delvin, I see you joined. The notifications did work, finally. Raymond, yes. Funny enough, I did not even know there was a YouTube outage. I did hear about it the next day, but it was a total Google outage. Because even things like Google Meet and Google Classroom, they all went down. Everything went down. YouTube went down. So that was quite interesting. But Raymond, Delvin, thank you guys for joining. Boy, we got some things to talk about tonight. And to start off, I hope you enjoyed the little. Kind of like this style with the intro, a little bit of intro music while I can blast out to the social medias all of uh, the Facebook and a bunch of Facebooks and the Twitter account to make sure everybody that wants to watch can join. And for the night tonight, we are back in the kind of normal swing. I got an interesting drink here. Now, this is a special little concoction I kind of just I thought of today. So, this is it's Minute Maid pink lemonade, sugar free. So, that's the kind of like base of it. But then also in there, I have some clementines that I squeeze the juice out to mix it into there, and then I have the clementine in there as well, so it's soaking in the drink, almost like a muddle. And then on top of that, I added Bacardi Limon as the main alcohol for the drink, or really the only alcohol in there. And I have tasted a little sip when I was making it, and it tastes delicious. So, cheers to a snowstorm, the first major snowstorm we've really had for a while. And we'll talk about that too. That is delicious. Get a little hint of the Bacardi, nice little sweetness before and after. Hello. I haven't seen you on the YouTube chat in a long time. How are you doing? And very interesting that it worked. They kind of did it, I guess, intentionally. That by the time the kids had to get in school, that whole Google thing was all fixed. But thank you for joining. We got a little bit of weather to discuss, and I hope you guys enjoyed the picture I posted. That was one of my favorite car pictures I have ever taken. It was right after I did a weather update video. I forgot which one it was, but it was from 2019. It was like December of 2019, I think it was. It was a light snow, light coating, but it looked like a nice intense storm. It was quick, so it left a little like 2 inches, and that was about it. But the way it looked was really cool. And with the Subaru, Subaru and winter they kind of like go together with the all-wheel drive. So let me just try and get that. I would love to sell that photo, the rights to that photo to Subaru themselves, but we'll see if they get it, if they notice it at all. Hello, Lisa. How you doing? So let's get started here. Let me bring up my weather discussion. I have this all ready. So, technology wise, everything seemed to be working pretty well tonight. Everything kind of just plugged right in and really worked. The only issue is when we get to the gaming part of the stream. Cyberpunk 2077 is very glitchy, and even when I'm just playing it normally, it crashes on me, even if I'm not doing anything else. Like right now, I have OBS open and it's streaming to YouTube and recording locally at the same time. I don't think it's a system resources issue, as the processor's pretty good on there, but it's something with the game that is just not stable. So we'll see how that goes. Yes, Raymond, that is definitely true, but Though that just happens to be a coincidence. The shutdowns, it's kind of like the snowstorm is forcing everyone to stay inside. So we'll see. I'll show you the timing. We'll talk all about that. But first, I just want to get started here with the National Weather Service, the forecast office here. So we'll look through a couple of different areas here, but pretty much everywhere in the northern parts here. So we're in the Upton, the OKX office. This is showing winter storm warning. And basically the difference between a winter storm watch and a warning, or really any like a severe thunderstorm watch and warning, is the conditions are primed for a watch. So with a watch, that means within the next, say, 36 hours, the conditions are going to be there. With a warning, that means they're either happening right now or will happen within the next 24 to 36 hours. So that's really the difference between a watch and a warning. Watch means it's not really a severity level. Watch means that the potential is there and it's still a little bit a ways with winter weather. Then a winter storm warning means it's happening or it will be starting to happen within the 24-hour period, which is looking like it maybe start by this time tomorrow. We're going to be starting to get into some very interesting weather, so cheers to that. This is probably the best drink I've ever made, and it is delicious. Oh, I actually talked to somebody because when I'm doing the tech support, they called him Governor Smurfy. I thought that was hilarious. Governor Smurfy. So here, did the screen go blank? That was odd. I don't know if that was my monitor or everything went blank. Anyway, so winter storm warning here, and then let's go a little bit further south. And New Jersey is kind of split here, just because when we're going to look at the freezing line, the 540 line, it's really kind of following right along where the watches and warnings are placed. So everywhere in this pink, the winter storm warning, looks like they'll be getting some pretty impactful snow. South of there, now this is the big question mark too. So that's where some are seeing winter weather advisory. We do have, was this coastal flood warning? Just because the strong winds, we can see gusts up to 40 miles per hour with this. So, and we're going to have high tide. So I know anybody that happens to be by the ocean may want to keep an eye on that. So we're going to have high tides and strong winds with a nor'easter. So we're going to have easterly winds coming in off the ocean, kind of pushing the water a little bit more. So that's what we're seeing with the winds, and that's kind of what this is implying here with the coastal flood warning. There's a couple others, the high wind warning, which is pretty much, it's underneath, they kind of layer these. The entire Jersey shoreline is under that high wind warning. So we'll break down a couple of these. Let's start with the high wind warning. Let's see exactly what it's saying here. So northeast winds, this is a nor'easter, and that's the definition of a nor'easter, is winds from the northeast. So northeast winds 30 to 40 miles per hour. Oh, even higher. Gusts up to 60 miles per hour. That is tropical storm force winds. Yeah, you might want to take some precautions about that if you're surrounded by the water. So, especially 30 to 40 sustained miles per hour with gusts up to 60. Eastern Monmouth and coastal ocean. So, that is pretty much most of the Jersey Shore there. Damaging winds, blow down trees and power lines, widespread power outages are expected. Travel will be difficult, especially for high-profile vehicles. There's actually one new section in here. It's not listed in this. Usually there's a spotter activation notice. So I'll see if that is in any of the other ones. So that was the high wind warning. Let's take a look at the winter storm warning. Oh, I think I know this guy, Jim Thorpe. All right, so winter storm warning. Heavy snow which may mix with sleet. Total snow accumulations of 12 to 20 inches. My monitor, my computer that I'm watching the stream and controlling it from actually kept going to sleep. Sorry about that. Anyway, so here, total snow accumulations of 12 to 20 inches. That is with the winter storm warning. So, yeah, we'll drink to that. And Raymond, I know we like the weather history part, so we'll talk a little bit about some weather history too. So 12 to 20 inches. New, and this is usually they issue the winter storm warning before the conditions really start up. So from noon Wednesday 10 a.m. through noon Wednesday through 10 a.m. Thursday. So that's on the early side and a little bit on the late side, but we'll take a look at that when we take a look at the models. Travel could be very difficult to impossible. The hazardous conditions could impact the evening commute on Wednesday and the morning commute on Thursday. The heavy snow could result in power outages. Snow will move in from the southwest to northeast Wednesday afternoon, early evening. The snow could become heavy at times Wednesday evening into Wednesday night before ending Thursday morning. There also may be some sleet mixed in at times. That's the biggest difference between the winter storm warning area and the winter storm watch, or a little bit or south of that. There's more sleet mixing in the more south you go, which could be more slippery too. The more north of that kind of like pink line, that's where you're getting the colder air, and you're getting the higher totals because of the colder air. Raymond, is it because Cuomo issued a winter storm? Not a winter storm warning. He issued the winter storm. He controlled the winter storm? Very interesting. Conspiracies. I just laid that conspiracy theory out to the internet. All joking aside, but it is just a total coincidence with that. Anyway, precautionary. If you must travel, keep an extra flashlight, food, and water in your vehicle in case of emergency. Let me see. Anything else here? So this is going a little bit in between there's like one band that's the heaviest, which is the 12 to 20 inch range. Then on either side of it, we get the 6 to 12. So here, heavy mixed precipitation. Snow totals are coming down because we're getting more mixed icy sleet. Total snow and sleet accumulation of 6 to 12 inches. Winds gusting as high as 35. I'd probably push that to maybe 40 miles per hour. In the same time frame, noon Wednesday to 10 a.m. Thursday. Travel could be difficult to impossible. The hazardous conditions could impact the evening commute. Yep, same thing. It looks like the same thing. Let me just see. They don't have a spotter activation statement. They usually have somewhere. Let me just go to the bottom here. They usually have some sort of a spotter activation statement. And the past couple of streams we've seen in there, they actually add in COVID precautionary measures from the CDC. It was the spotter activation statement. Like they may say something like, spotter activation statement, spotters may be required to send in storm reports when it is safe to do so. Follow all CDC guidelines for social distancing. That was a brand new thing I've never seen before. Maybe not the wintry, Raymond, you might be onto something there. Maybe not the wintry weather. They put that special CDC spotter activation statement. But very interesting. And yes, it looks like, well, a little bit more south, you're probably going to get more of the liquid precipitation. But it definitely looks like you may be getting some sleet mixed in there too. Okay, so that was the winter storm warning. Storm warning is really just ocean stuff. Coastal flood warning, gale warning, winter weather advisory. Let's move up to the Upton office here. Let's take a look at their winter storm warning. Snow accumulations of 8 to 12 inches. So this is more going into the Long Island kind of area there. They look portions of northeast New Jersey, southeast New York. So that's kind of, especially for the lower Hudson Valley, like Rockland and Westchester. The 8 to 12 inch is a bit more what I'm thinking. But we'll take a look at the model because I haven't seen the evening or the afternoon runs before. Winds gust as high as 45 to 50 miles per hour, so that is still pretty severe. And yes, I am excited to see the vaccines actually start, which I would probably be up higher on the list because I am an essential worker. Technically, I'm an essential worker with what I do, and I have pre-existing conditions because I'm immunocompromised. So that I think would put me up near the top, or not at the top, but one of the higher groups of people to get it. Okay, so these are all the watches and really warnings that we're seeing there. Winter storm watch, the extra one, coastal flood statement, especially along the coastline communities. Gotta keep that in mind. Now let's take a look at the radar here. And on the radar, this is our storm. We're not seeing anything yet because here, pretty much it's very calm, very quiet. I have 28 degrees, so the cold is there. And it's been there the past couple of days, which is basically setting up the ground. If it's been warm, if it's been in the 50s the past few days, the snow total may be less because the ground is not warm enough. The ground has to be cooled down to accept the snow. So the first maybe few inches of snow may just melt on contact. And then once it cools the surface of the ground enough, then it starts accumulating. And Delvin, you are right there. This could mess up both the tracking of COVID because you have to shut down COVID testing sites, and the distribution of the vaccines because the weather is really going to play a factor with both FedEx and UPS. And even but not vaccines, but if you're expecting deliveries because of the holidays, it may be delayed this week, especially if anywhere in the Northeast here. So this is our system right now. It doesn't look too organized, but when we take a look at the motion, we got the counterclockwise rotation in the northern hemisphere. This is going to be pulling in moisture off the Gulf of Mexico. So as it's siphoning the moisture off the Gulf of Mexico here, and it's going to be pulling in on the backside of it there, the cold air from Canada. And there's cold air already in place in the Northeast. That is a recipe for a very significant snowstorm. And when we take a look at the satellite, it looks much more impressive. So with this, the red is really dense cloud, and the yellow is kind of light cloud. This is called nighttime microphysics. This is basically visible satellite at night. Let me just switch here. There's that long wave. So here you can see a little bit more in depth with the clouds. So on the radar, it did not look like that impressive of a system. Doesn't look like that big, even though it is a good chunk of states. It is much bigger when you take a look at the cloud cover associated with it. Yeah, so Pfizer may have some issues there. You're right, Delvin. And Raymond, yeah, it looks like we it's kind of interesting what's going to happen if Cuomo has to shut down or put the state on pause again. I don't know if it would just be New York cuz Jersey actually has a higher positivity rate. All right, so this is the satellite. So this is the system. It's fairly expansive. And when we take a look underneath here with the surface analysis, we're really just looking for two big driving factors here. These are the steering factors. This high pressure system that's in place right now, giving us fairly calm. Today was a beautiful day. It was calm, a very light wind, if any, nice sunny sky. That's also prime for cold air because with the high, we have clockwise rotation. So that is funneling in the cold air. That's where the air is coming from, is on the front side of this high pressure system. Very interesting, Delvin. I wasn't sure because I think New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut were trying to stay together, but I wasn't sure about Massachusetts or even Vermont that's still bordering New York. So the two driving factors here, this high that's bringing in the cold and the low, which is our storm. Now this looks like it's continuing to move out northeast. It's moving northeast out of the area. And there's another low you can kind of see off screen here as that moves basically over Greenland and into the Arctic Circle. In its wake is this high pressure system, and that is moving that way as well, which also allows the room for this system to come up. Because we're still going to have the subtropical high in the Atlantic Ocean here. That's one of the blocking factors. And depending on exactly where the subtropical high is, that is going to either allow this low pressure coastal storm to move more inland or move more out to sea. And with these latest forecast models, it's looking like it's staying right along that special 70-40 benchmark, which is what's bringing that significant snow. Oh, it did, Raymond. Interesting. Because I know by where I am, it started windy, but then it calmed down. Throughout the afternoon, it was fairly calm. Last time I went out was about 6, and at 6 o'clock, it was dead calm. Nice clear sky out. Kind of that eerie calm before the storm feeling. So that's what I was having before. Calm before the storm. All right. Let's take a deep dive now. Well, not too deep, but a good look at some of these forecast models. So starting here on the good old tropical tidbits from the GFS, this is the 18Z run. Let's see the timing for the GFS. All right, so here. This is 0Z Thursday, and this is 18Z Wednesday. So this is basically 1 p.m. Wednesday, and this is 7 p.m. So between 1 and 7 p.m., and this is a 6-hour average precipitation rate. So between 1 and 7, it looks like we're to be starting. And there is that line set up that is basically following, if we go back to Jersey here, Mount Holly, basically following that line right there. That is what we're seeing with this line right here on the GFS. Okay, so it's starting as snow, basically. Belmar, Toms River, kind of right around in here. That's kind of the cutoff latitude. And then once you go more inland, that's where it becomes snow. And here, that dark blue, that is heavy, heavy snow. So the higher elevation area, Sussex County, New Jersey, definitely going to be hit. And all those counties around it, Orange, Rockland, I'm not sure the name of any of these counties in Pennsylvania, but that's really going to be it. That's going to be the hit. Oh, you're going down to Florida. Nice. Are you going to Disney? I know somebody that just went down to Disney, and they said it was definitely different. It wasn't as magical as it normally is, just because a lot of you got to wear the masks all the time, and a lot of restaurants, actually almost all the restaurants, are shut down. They are not making any food on site. So if there's a restaurant that they make fresh food there, it is shut down. They are only bringing in like pre-packaged food. Anything that needs to be prepared is not run at the moment. So that is a lot of those restaurants in Epcot all shut down. Anyway, back to weather. So that's the heavy snow there. And right there, there's going to be your freezing line where there's a lot of sleet. Heavy rain into heavy snow. And you're still seeing banding here of heavy snow. And right there, that low, the 70-40 benchmark. I'm going to try and put my cursor on there. Where are you? 40. Oop, wrong way. So it's a little bit more inland, but kind of in this area there. Right in this. If there's a low pressure right in this area, which this is dangerously close to that, that is the worst case scenario, is the 70-40 benchmark. I get it. Funny, Windy City. You going to SeaWorld. The place I usually stay at when I go down to Disney is right down the road from SeaWorld. It's the Sheraton Vistana Villages. I have a timeshare there. That's usually past when I would normally be there. The first week of December is when I would normally be there. Very interesting. Soon enough, we'll be all back to our normal traveling routines and vacation. Okay, so now we got the European up on pivotal weather this time. All right, so right about here. This is 18. Let's see if it's the same thing. 18Z, 0Z. Timing wise, the Euro is pretty much the same as the GFS. And now let's take a look at this first frame here. Now, the GFS on Tropical Tidbits here doesn't always show the mix happening. Like, it's not going to just go straight from heavy snow to heavy rain. There's going to be something in the middle there. It doesn't show it too well. Excuse me, but the pivotal weather site here with the Euro shows it pretty well. There's your mixing line. It's funny, this kind of looks like a COVID virus from the pictures. Oh, interesting, Delvin. I didn't know the later for daylight saving time this coming spring. And I have never been to the Clearwater before, but I think I know some people that have stayed there, and they enjoy it. All right, so that is the freezing line. So this is when it's starting, between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. tomorrow. Now here, heavy snow, that really dark blue, and especially the pink. If we look at the legend here for snow, that heaviest snow is really intense. So now this is, I believe, in the liquid equivalent. So 0.2, that could be 2 inches, because assuming a 10-to-1 ratio for snow frozen to liquid, that could be 2 inches per hour of snow right in there. And that's very close. So that's where we're, even though we're not getting that highest intense snow, that's still pretty intense. That really dark blue, that's still over an inch between 1 and 2 inches of snow per hour, right in that dark blue spot there. And especially if it's lasting this long. So this is 12Z Thursday, which is 7 a.m. Still dealing with it. As the cold kind of comes in overnight, that freezing line really starts extending further south into Jersey. And then by the afternoon, we're dealing with maybe some little lake effect coming off the Finger Lakes here. Flurries, possible. It's not showing up here. I'm still going to think it's possible. But really the last wraparound moisture coming from there can linger up near Albany there. But wind, look at that. Look at the isobar. Look how tightly packed these are. When it's that tightly packed, that's where we're seeing those gusts up to 60 miles per hour. All right, so that is the Euro. And we're going to look through the timing for this first. Then we're going to take a look at the totals, the snow totals that each of these are putting out. All right, so now let's take a look at the icon here. It's been very interesting having these very early sunsets. I don't know if I necessarily like it. It's great for astronomy though. So for astrophotography that I do, I love the early sunset, but that's really the only reason. That is probably an amazing sight to see. Starting out early before sunrise, and then as you're running, you're seeing the morning sun. That's probably really cool. All right, so the icon here. Let's see. And remember, this is a little bit different. The last two, the GFS and the Euro, have been 6-hour average precipitation rate. This one is 3-hour. Oh, I'm on the wrong. Actually, no, we don't need the long range one. So here, we are at 18Z. So it's starting really as just rain very far south in Jersey, going into like the Cape May area there. And then there's that freezing line. That still kind of makes an alignment with this right there. So that is what we're seeing there. And then that really dark blue, and that looks like it's hammering northern New Jersey going into southeast New York. That is a lot of snow. And if you look here, that really dark blue getting into here, that is about 4 inches, just kind of roughly lining that up. 4 inches in 3 hours. Think of that, 4 inches of snow in 3 hours. So the heaviest snow looks like it is starting after sunset, when the cold starts really coming in. But look at that band here, that really heavy band. And this is still, even though it's staying out to sea, going through the Delmarva area out to sea, because it's warmer, it's really all rain, but that is still some pretty intense rain. That is near the top of the chart there. That dark red there. And that ends about 15Z. So that's about 10 a.m. So it's ending at about that 10 a.m., but still leaving some pretty windy conditions. And throughout this whole thing, the isobars, the pressure gradient is so intense. Not the most intense. The most intense I've seen in a while was Sandy. So still looking pretty intense there. And the last one we'll look at here, the NAM. Let's take a look at the timing. And this is very different than the other ones too, because this is near surface reflectivity. Basically, this is simulated radar. This is not showing precipitation rate. Oh, speaking of Disney before, I'm not even realizing I'm using my Disney Animal Kingdom mug. What, the last time I was in Disney, there were still quite a few spots you can, in almost every park now, that you can get some sort of alcohol. Okay, back to here. Let's see. So now this is because it's a simulated radar. This will show when we could expect, according to the NAM here, to see. So kind of right along the Jersey Shore there. 19Z, which is 2 p.m. So starting about that 2 p.m. time is when we can start seeing it in Jersey. Mostly rain once you get very more inland there. That's where the snow starts. And then it kind of keeps that freezing line kind of right where it is. It doesn't really move, it looks like. Too much. There is that ice part here. So the NAM is showing a little bit of ice mixing in, kind of the New York City line and south. It just barely tips. Looks like Rockland and Westchester there for a little bit, but still. And then here we have the jump kind of midway through between, this is hourly, and then it starts jumping to 3-hour intervals. So that's why you see that jump there. So the heaviest really looks like it's starting kind of right around that 7 p.m., 8 p.m. That's when it's really starting to come in. Then the heavy snow moves more north. So going into the lower Hudson Valley here, that's really coming up. That's getting like midnight, 1 a.m. time frame. And here's the ice. This is going to be an issue with Long Island because the ocean may keep the air a little bit warmer. So you're going to have this layering where it may start as snow. So you're going to have a layer of snow. Then maybe a little wet rain mixing in, but then ice on top of that, and then more snow. That's a dangerous situation. Layer of snow, layer of ice, layer of snow. Oh, I didn't know Great Adventure has a beer station there. That's pretty interesting. I haven't been to Great Adventure in probably like a decade. It's got to be at least a decade. No, it's even more than that. I graduated college in 2013. Last time I was there, I was in high school. So that's got to be like 2009. Yeah. It's over a decade. And then here, ending about that 15Z time frame, which is 10 a.m. So that's just about what we were. A lot of these are fairly close. Sometimes you see a lot of disagreement between the models where one shows one thing, another shows another thing. But this, they're fairly close to each other. That means the confidence level in my forecast is going up. Okay, so now let's rewind these. And we're going to start taking a look at snow totals. The big question on everybody's mind. Let's do there. All right, so we got that one rewound. Rewind that. Okay. So now we're going to switch these to total positive snow depth. And then let's take a look. You guys ready? That actually sounds really fun there. Very interesting. I'll have to get back there. I haven't been there in so long. But anyway, the big thing, the snow totals. All right, so the GFS is the first one up here. So the most intense, kind of what we were seeing before, is more into Pennsylvania, but right here, the lower Hudson Valley, the green is minimum of 12 inches. Orange County, 15, 16 inches. Rockland, Westchester, and Putnam here, right on the cusp of that 12-inch mark. So that's right about a foot. Then going along the Jersey Shore, there's not much. I would expect you guys may see some snow, but really not sticking. It'll be more sleet, and it'll be a little bit more of just rain, especially in this quadrant right here, right around Cape May County and just a couple more counties north there. I really don't think there'll be any frozen precipitation. But north of that, may see some frozen precipitation. So some sleet mixed in with the rain. But the highest in Pennsylvania here, 24 inches. There's your 2 feet of snow. Extending through, maybe just clipping Connecticut, going into Massachusetts, going into Vermont. That is quite a bit there. Even New Hampshire, not really into Maine, but Vermont, New Hampshire there. You can still see that foot plus. So that's the swath of the foot plus of snow. That's the dangerous snow too. And also in terms of the type of snow, because the temperatures with this looked like there'd be around the freezing point, I would say this is going to be that wet, heavy, heart attack snow. Getting a Slurpee dumped on you. That sounds quite interesting. All right, so that is the snow total for the GFS. Now let's switch this to... Yeah, I think I got it right here. And then we're going to do snow depth. All right. So now all of this is basically from Monday, yesterday. It doesn't reset because this is total for the run. It doesn't reset anything, but because this is all less than an inch, we can pretty much just ignore that. And if anything, take 1 inch off in some areas there. Take 1 inch off the snow total. All right. Let's go through. Still gaining. Still gaining. It looks like it stopped about there. Okay. So this is the Europeans' snow total. Also targeting kind of Pennsylvania for the highest for that 2 feet. But here. So the 13.9. The 0.9 was there already. So you kind of just knock off the 0.9. And look. 13, 14 inches. 14 inches. So this area, I would safely say at least 10 inches, maybe even at least a foot, and then maybe getting a little bit more out of that. Yeah, you can't really go sledding on the Slurpee dumped on you. Although it sounds tasty. So here, yeah, you're really not getting, even on the Euro here, maybe a little trace to an inch. That's about it. But then once you get Cape May, really nothing. All right, so that is the Euro. Let's take a look at the icon now. Let me switch this to total snowfall. Slightly different, but let's still take a look at it. And kind of stops there. Okay, so this is where the icon was slightly different than the others, but here it's showing it's a little bit more north because the bulk right there, the little bullseye in Pennsylvania that was there on the GFS and the euro. On the icon here, it's really going into the border of Pennsylvania and New York there. Binghamton, maybe right around there. So more north. So overall, the icon is shifting everything more north. That's also why, a lot more of New Jersey here has no snow versus the GFS and the Euro, because the Euro is showing almost all of New Jersey getting at least something, except really Cape May. But the icon's a little bit more north. The icon minimum for the Hudson Valley is looking like 8 inches, going to 12 inches, maybe, right? Actually, 12 inches green, so 11 inches in Sussex County, and still kind of in that 6 to 12 inch range right there. So that's the icon. Now let's take a look at the NAM with the total positive snow depth. All right, let's see what the NAM shows. All right, so the NAM is a little bit more north as well. So it looks like the icon and the NAM are kind of in one camp, although it's very similar to all these. And then the Euro and the GFS are in another camp. So because the GFS and the Euro are more south, going into the New York, New Jersey, like the Hudson Valley, North New Jersey border there, going into New York City, higher. That's where we could see a foot plus on the GFS and the Euro. The icon is going to be maybe the 6 to 12 inch range. And then the NAM is showing a little bit higher, maybe right around closer to a foot. I'd probably say even 8 to 12 inches versus 6 to 12 inches. So very interesting to take a look at those. And yeah, I think the icon is a little bit too far north. And if the NAM and the icon are in agreement, I do think this is a little bit too far north. Why would it be going a little bit more north like that? Funny message there. Anyway, so the icon name. Actually, let me see if he wants to join in. Give me 1 second. This is one of my my friends and kind of like new lead in my job here. Let me see if he wants to join. How would I share that? Oh, maybe in. Give me 1 second. Let me try and figure out how to get the link from the computer here. Just because the YouTube Creator Studio app on mobile doesn't show like active live streams. There we go. If you want to watch the live stream, I'm on right now. 12 plus inches. Oh, that is a cool thumbnail that YouTube captured. I am in love with that. Yes, the NAM kills the Catskills there. And even the Capital District still is all right around. There's the 12-inch mark. Still kind of getting right around there. Very interesting. Okay. So those are the totals. The only last thing I want to take a look at, I'm not sure if it's here, is ice. Total snowfall. Nope. I think the Pivotal Weather site had that. No? Here we go. ICE. Available on Pivotal Weather Plus. So I guess that is a subscription service. Subscriptions, yes. So we're getting the normal snow total, but to get the ice, that kind of needs a subscription. Anyway, this is still good enough. So kind of averaging all these together, that just kind of round it up. GFS is showing, I'm kind of putting the 12-inch mark right here. And I will post probably tomorrow a snow totals map. So this I'm going to have here as kind of like the cutoff for the 12-inch mark. It's right around there. So basically New Jersey minus Sussex County is going to be at the top of the 12-inch mark. 6 to 12 I'm going to kind of put right in there. 12-inch right around here. And then I don't even know if I'm going to do 12 to 18 and then whatever. Just 12 plus, maybe just easier. So just kind of averaging those together, that's about what we're seeing. So if I'm putting the 12-inch mark kind of right in there, that kind of falls in line with 12 plus for this whole area. With the icon, I think it's still a little bit too north, kind of like what you were saying, Raymond. So if we pull that down slightly, there's the 12-inch mark. That is still maybe slightly more north of what I was thinking from the GFS and the Euro. But I think I'm going to still put a 12-inch mark there, from right there, right along the Jersey Shore and north, just about the tip of New York City there too, maybe right about there. 6 to 12, maybe right about there. And then if we look at the NAM, kind of follows in that. And if we just pull the NAM a little bit more south, kind of like we're doing with the icon, then here, there's the 12-inch mark. Pull that down just a little bit there, and that's still falling right in line there. There's your 12-inch, so maybe just 12 plus, maybe even 12 to 18, and then 18 plus, putting it up there. Maybe I'll do that. Going right along that New York City tip right in there. That would be the cutoff of kind of like, say, I'm not sure if that's an 8 or 6, but I would say that would be 6 to 12. And right here is 12 to 18. About it here, and then 18 plus. I think I'm going to do that. So I'll draw that out. I'll draw that map out. If you guys are following me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at WeathermanAP, then you'll be able to see that map that I usually hand draw my weather maps on the iPad. So I'll draw that and put it out there. The Canadian. Okay, let's pull up the Canadian. Usually the Canadian I ignore because the Canadian model ain't doesn't know anything. Let me go back to tropical. What I was just typing. That is odd. Google Chrome has been acting really strange lately. All right, so let's get in here. The CMC. Let's go to northeast. Let's just take a look here what it's showing. So this is showing the ice there, but then the ice just disappears, and it's just showing a straight rain to snow line, which really is not going to happen. But it's still showing some pretty intense. So let's take a look at the start times. 18Z Wednesday, which is that 1 p.m. time frame Eastern. And that's kind of about where it's starting. And this is, again, a 6-hour average precipitation rate. So that's very similar to the GFS and the Euro. So these three, let me just reorder that. The GFS, the Euro, and the Canadian, these are 6-hour precipitation rates. The Icon is before it was a 3-hour precipitation rate. And the NAM was simulated radar. So let's go back to the Canadian. 6-hour precipitation rate. So right here, this is 7 p.m. And that's 1 p.m. tomorrow. So really, it's going to be starting up between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m., which I start my other job at the 1 p.m. time frame. So we'll see if I lose internet, because I can't do my at-home work if there is no internet or no power. This is such a delicious drink. I might have to make a second cup of that. All right, so really that line goes, but still that really dark blue, it's still there. And ending, this is actually a little bit later, going into the afternoon, so it's slower a little bit. Maybe it slows down, because the start time was about the same, but the end time was a little slower. So it might slow down, is what the Canadian is saying here. Very interesting. All right, now let's rewind this, and let's take a look at the total snowfall. Okay, so it doesn't have the snow depth. So it's going to be slightly different doing total snowfall versus the total snow depth. Because total snowfall is what's coming out of the sky, versus snow depth is what would stick, because it's taking into account ground temperature there. Oh, wow. Do I remember that? 2002. 18 years ago. I feel like I remember that. The number one snowstorm that I always sticks into my mind, which is one of the ones that actually got me into weather, 1996. The blizzard of 1996. That one was where my weather idol, Jim Cantore, I was watching him on the Weather Channel, and I was just fascinated. And I remember was that almost 3 feet of snow, or 40 inches of snow, I think? Because I remember I was small. I was 5 years old in 1996. And the snow was taller than me. So I was running through the underneath, like if the snow's here, I'm running just underneath, and like my hat is sticking up above the snow. Very interesting. That's really that, and storms around that 5-year-old time frame is what sparked my interest in the weather here. Okay, so that is the Canadian. Now, let's take a look at the Canadian's snow total. Okay, so the Canadian is not far off this time, but the Canadian is kind of more in the camp of the Icon and the NAM, where it's targeting the heavier snow a little bit more north. I think, just based on my experience and kind of like my gut instinct, let's pull this down a little bit more. And it's not much. Basically, it's, 40 miles, we'll say? 40 miles more south. Just pull all that down a little bit. Still, the Catskills, the capital region, is getting hit with up to 2 feet of snow there. I still think in here, that's still going to be around the foot, which is where that 12-inch line is kind of showing right there. So when I draw this snow map and I put it out on all my social accounts, I'm going to put kind of like just the southern tip of New York City going into the start of the Jersey Shore there at this diagonal in north here. And I right up to like the southern tip of Sussex. I'm going to put that kind of like 6 to 12. Then going into here, starting from the southern tip of Sussex, 12 to maybe 18 inches. I'm going to put up through here, just south of Albany, maybe just going into like Sullivan, Ulster, kind of like cutting it off there. Then I'm going to put maybe 18 plus of snow for that, all around there. Going further south into Jersey, kind of following this line, because that line was about right from the others. So I'm going to put here that's kind of the cutoff. So we're going to have maybe 3 to 6 inches, kind of along this light blue. It's gonna be very narrow. This 3 to 6 inch range there, and then getting very near the coast, kind of here and south. I'm gonna put maybe a trace. Maybe not even counting Cape May. Let's keep Cape May out of that. I'm gonna say that's just mainly rain. North of Cape May, those couple of counties, that's gonna be kind of like the trace cutoff line. I'm gonna put. So it's a very tight gradient for those lower ones between the just rain, the trace mix to three, maybe two. I'll do 3 inches. Trace to 3, a bigger range there, and then 3 to 6, right up to about here. 3 to 6, 6 to 12. Getting a bit more north here, and then kind of right there, 12 to 18. And then here, 18 plus. The weather guy that yells at the TV. I don't know. I'm not sure who that one is. Are you talking about from the Fios One weather team that I was on? Or just like one of the other stations by you? Yeah, that's what's. You're totally right. It's very narrow going over Monmouth. That's the very tricky part to forecast for. Is that tight pressure gradient. Because my gut instinct is it's probably going to be right there. The 3 to 6 is going to be really short in there. And the trace to 3 is maybe going to be right around here, and then just nothing. Very close. He's always shouting back in the day. Is that Jim Cantori that you're thinking of? The Thunder Snow guy? Because I remember he was yelling a lot. He was doing a weather report. There was a flash of lightning and a roar of thunder, and he was screaming, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And he was jumping around. Also, Jeff Benson did that too. One of our social media videos. Yeah, he was mimicking Jim Cantori. Yeah, 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 Thunder Snow. But Jim Cantori was the one that did that and was screaming. He was so excited to capture on live television Thunder Snow. And on live television, he was yelling. He was jumping up and down. So this kind of wraps up the main heart of this. Because we spent so much time focusing on this, we're not really going to take a look at the week ahead, because usually Games and Storms Live, I like to take a look at the week ahead. But not this time. We're just really focusing on this. So overall, there's going to be a lot of snow and a lot of treacherous weather. So if you can get any shopping done early tomorrow, stock up, just because with the pandemic, there's probably lower inventory on the shelves anyway, especially toilet paper. Oh, did you guys watch my toilet paper on the toilet video? That was probably the weirdest video I ever posted to YouTube. But anyway, things are running low on the shelves, so that's going to be an issue. And then it's also looking like this may cause issues even just getting out. So if you can get out early, you should have stocked up already. You should have enough already. Because by the time we get to tomorrow, especially tomorrow morning, it's going to be too late. It's starting to be too late. Once noon rolls around, 1 o'clock, I'd say that's too late. So get out early. Try and get any shopping done early if you need. Otherwise, if you have and you're stocked up already, don't go out. Don't even bother going out until later in the day, Thursday, if not Friday. Yes. It's actually a fairly recent upload. Let me just see if I can go to my channel real quick and show you that toilet paper one. YouTube.com/Andrew Venero. So there's the live right now. I'm still shocked here. My most popular video on my entire channel is this car video, How to Drive Manual, episode 6, engine braking, from 2 years ago. And then my second most popular video of the year, of all time on my channel, was from this year, Ultra Boost 20 sneaker review. Anyway, let me go here. Here it is. So that is the one. So if you're looking, it is quite an interesting video where we're talking about butt math and calculating poops and pees per day to figure out how many rolls of toilet paper you actually need for a 90-day quarantine. I started that video back in like April, and I just finished it 2 weeks ago. I just got it uploaded there. So feel free to watch it. It is a rather longer video. It's about 20 minutes, but I really go through the math trying to figure out how much toilet paper a normal household would need using census data from 2020. So I got some 2020 census data in there. All the Karens and Chads already cleared. Yeah, toilet paper. Oh, well. Oh, well, there. All right. So we are going to switch into gaming mode a little bit. I am absolutely fascinated with that drink, so I'm going to get another one. Then we're going to try some Cyberpunk 2077. Oh, and I got but before we get there, the one history thing is, Raymond, I know we like the history with the weather. The last time we had an impactful snowstorm, which still wasn't a lot, 2018. We had about 6 to 8 inches of snow, which is moderate. It's not a lot, but it's not a little. So I call that a moderate amount of snow. But it shut down the state. I remember New Jersey specifically. New Jersey was like an apocalyptic scene. People were abandoning their cars on the middle of the highway and the roads. You got cars scattered everywhere. It was a mess because it was November, and snow removal budget for the state does not start until December 1st. So they did not want to pay the workers overtime to go out and salt and brine and spread all that. So the roads were not treated at all. And when you have untreated roads with even 6 inches of snow, it leads to bad situations. So that was the last significant situation, but the last significant snowfall was 2016. Raymond, Delvin, any of you guys remember? And even Lisa, you may remember this too. In 2016, I think this was it de Blasio? I don't remember if it was de Blasio or Bloomberg, but it was right around Christmas time, and it was like 2 feet of snow in New York City. It was horrendous. So that was the last significant snowfall we had. We have not had a big storm that has the potential to do this 1 to 2 feet of snow in 4 years. What would you guess there? I wouldn't have guessed it would have been 4 years, but yeah, it was 4 years. Very interesting. Bridgegate was worse, but I'm just talking about snow, Raymond. Not in terms of why am I drawing a blank on Governor Christie allegedly shutting down the George Washington Bridge to cause allegedly a traffic jam, a significantly bad traffic jam. But in terms of snow, 2016 was the last time we had this foot plus of snow. So it's been a while. We are overdue. And it's quite interesting to think about. Did the pandemic have a hand in this? Because less people are traveling. There's less emissions. There's less flights. When the planes are flying through the atmosphere, they are directly spewing the emissions into the upper atmosphere. That's not happening as much. Does this have anything correlated? This needs so much research to be done by climate scientists. All right, so I am going to take a quick little break here, grab one more drink, and then we'll start some gaming. Where are you? There you are. I don't have a waiting screen, so I'm just going to put the screen back up. So I will be right back. All right, we are back. So, I got another pink lemonade, Bacardi Limon, Clementines in their drink. Cheers. That is delicious. I gotta remember that recipe. All right. Let's clear out this. I did not set Cyberpunk to 1080. So I'll just have to quickly adjust the in-game settings for it. Uh-oh. If it lets me in. That is odd. Okay, let's Steam didn't let me open my library. The heck? Okay. It's like the calibration's off. Wow, my phone made a beep. Can I move this? Give me 1 second here. I might have to switch this back. I jinxed myself in the beginning. Raymond, you were right. This will definitely affect the vaccine. Let me try switching this to 4K and switch it back down. Yeah, that is weird because it's fine in 4K. Maybe it was off? Let me just at least load this and switch this back to 1080. Okay, and go back to 60 FPS. There's a lot of changes that have to be made here. Okay, there we go. All right, 1920 by 1080, 60. That was really weird. I don't know why Steam just didn't work. Okay. Let me turn the Xbox. I actually prefer to play this game with an Xbox controller too. Okay. That's back there. Let's play. Hopefully it goes to the right monitor. I've been having issues with that the past few streams. Oh, I got a drip on my keyboard. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Okay, that looks good so far. It is oversized just because it's supposed to be, it's 4K. I will adjust that in 1 second. Yes, warning, risk of seizures. They added that. Cyberpunk.
Good morning, Night City! Yesterday's body count lottery rounded out to a solid...
That is a very bleak future if there's a lottery and gambling on the amount of people that died. Oh. You have to give me a second here. I think that was it. Yeah, Raymond, I think 5 is at or near the top of the amount of concurrent viewers I've seen on a single live stream. I think my max was 8, but still 5 is pretty good. Oh, here. Oh, it's just off screen. I'm gonna have to change display settings for 1 second here. No, I'm not looking for a Google search. Display, here we go. The main monitor, I gotta switch this temporarily back to 4K. And then here, we're gonna switch this super quick to 1920 by 1080, apply. Okay. All right, that looks good now. Looks like it fits the frame exactly. All right. Yes, that fits the frame perfectly. Wow, we did hit the 300,000. I didn't know we hit that yet.
Hey everyone, feels great to have you back. Son, did you all hear about that Arasaka aircraft
All right.
in Night City called Kujira?
So this is a very interesting game. Hopefully it doesn't crash because it's very buggy, but it's fun.
Afraid some local fishermen might harpoon it for scientific research. But honestly, it's quite a power move. Wonder what Mortenko will spawn with. Maybe Meyer.
Got said, bot and controller. Let's go.
Oh yeah, I remember this. Take all. I'm still just starting out this game too. Alright, so we were sent to collect a robot. We got the robot. And now we gotta try and escape with the robot.
When it failed, it's beat. Ah, I could taste it. It's production line. Plus, I thought you loved me. Really know what?
I'm glad they put the captions on so you guys can read the captions too if necessary.
Oh, good. Let's go.
Guess I'm just following him. Yes, vámonos.
Baby steps V. Enemies watching.
I just don't know how do you crouch. Oop. This is also where you can choose your style. So I can go in guns blazing. I could also try and sneak around. Don't know how to crouch. Hold on a second here. Oh no, that's not telling me the button layout. Key binding. I think that's it. That is showing the keyboard. It is not showing the controller. But let's just shoot him up. Come on, you got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jackie Wells.
What is this? Netrunner. Hostile Netrunner is trying to breach the system. I don't know what it did. That was weird. Trying to overheat me. Because we're all cyborgs now.
Who's ready to party?
There we go.
Let's have us some fun.
Go on, don't get in my way.
B, watch it.
Somebody over here. That's the target.
Fucking grenade.
Yeah, that's a grenade.
Go, go, go.
I don't know how to crouch. That's a problem. Alright. Ooh, stout. Oh yeah, so my eyes are optical as well. So they can make me temporarily blind. Ooh, why am I on fire? Oh right, I can just hold on a second here. Can I do that? Let's do that. Here we go. The heck was that? Here's a glitch. Your arm doesn't normally go through the door like that. Is weird. It's also very futuristic music here. That is not what I wanted to do. Armadillo? I got an armadillo. Oh, there's somebody out there. Or over there. Let's see if we can just run through. We are shooting our way out of this one. Someone's trying to upload. Let's see if I just run. Oh, no, it's this way. Oh, I can't just run. Never mind. That didn't work. The gameplay is choppy. I think that's just because the game is choppy from my view. Because the stream is going pretty well. I think it's just a glitchy game. Oh, Raymond. The choppiness you are seeing is the game. The game is intentionally making the view look choppy to try and distract you from shooting people. So the gameplay being choppy at certain points, it's intentional because you have robot eyes, so they're hacking you and they're trying to disrupt your field of view. I don't think there's anybody in there so we can get through. I just really have to figure out how to crouch here.
They got eyes on this turf. Careful.
Come on out, you little chicken shit. Package over there.
Going
Come on. Come at me. Oh, I figured out how to crouch.
Go, go, go.
Gotta reload.
Go. I hit him.
Alright, now I'm getting the hang of this game a little more. I know they can spot me. They're trying to overheat me. And it's working. Oh, we gotta go back this way. What? Why am I going back this way? The objective is apparently somewhere in here. Find a way to free Brick. Oh. Brick is prisoner. So Brick was the previous gang leader. I gained some street cred at least. Very interesting I did that. Come on. Come to me. There's something in here. What is that? I know they can spot me. What's over here?
Detonator.
Aha. Oh, they're gonna torture me. The stock market for death, yes. And I do see on the stream, it is more choppy than I thought. I don't know why. Alright, let's try and escape.
It's killing time.
Gotta go back this way. So I jumped ahead a little bit before. Ooh, headshot. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can just run. And we gotta go this way. Ooh, there's too many people there.
One good shot and we're done.
Ooh, I am out of ammo there. I have no idea what he said about one. Ngala madre. Alright, let's try and run up here. Escape. There we go.
Caught me a rat. Let's have us some fun.
Look out! They got grenades!
Oh, they got grenades now. Yeah, I don't know why it's very choppy on the stream. I'll have to figure that out a little bit. In a little bit, maybe for the next stream.
With you in a sec!
Hey, gonna blow.
What was that other thing I saw here?
Hang on!
What is this?
Reloading! Nade in the air!
I need some help.
Chingada madre!
Chingala madre. No idea what that means.
Slice and dice, slice and dice.
Alright. Gaining some health back.
Need to reload!
Oh, my studio light there is blinking. Oh, there goes the studio light. As soon as I get out of here, we will call the stream.
Empty mag!
I'll have to, and then I'll check the recording afterwards to see if it's as choppy on the recording as it is on the stream. That's an odd glitch. Ooh, Gotta go this way. Ooh. They have something extreme there. Ooh, what is this guy? Oh, that is... Let's see. Ooh, nope. Oh, I'm down. That's this game has a very bleak outlook of the future. Think about it. In terms of real life now, the amount of people that die per day in the gambling market, I can gamble on the amount of people I think will die tomorrow because of COVID. So I could say I'm going to gamble $1,000 that 1,200 people will die tomorrow. That is how dark this future is. I'm just going to see where... I'm going to give it one more attempt, and then we're going to call the stream from here.
You know who you're messing with?
There's a lot of ammo I missed. I mean, the guns blazing approach is an approach you can use. Oh, that's why I never went in this room before. Alright, let's see if I can hack this guy. Alright, let's try and breach this. So E9. 55. All demons uploaded. Okay. Short circuit. Let's try that. I don't know what I have to do here. Ooh, that is a big gun too. Ooh. And it's like they're aiming right at me. Yeah, that is very choppy on the stream. Oh, out of ammo on there. Well, nope, you're not coming this way. Basically, everybody in this future is a cyborg of some sort. Zero. Just headshots. Alright, so I just gotta kill this guy with headshots. Did I get him? Take all. Okay, I got him. Ooh, that was interesting. Let's recover some health. When was the last EFS? What do you mean by that? Wow, I gained 2,000 street cred. Very interesting. Okay, what is this thing? Aha.
Bet you didn't expect to see me here. You know, I like the way you operate. Maybe you'd do some more work for us.
Be more than glad to.
Till next time then, V. Corporate God's willing.
All about the corporations.
Time we were on our way, Kanal. Holy shit, V. I wasn't sure we'd walk out in one piece.
Oh, hello.
Thanks, Jack. Solid as ever.
Hey, yeah, you too, but, hey, what's this about? You feeling all right?
Yeah, I want to make sure, you know? We're good together. I like how we do things.
I do too, V. I do too. Hey, let Dex know we got his toy for him. And then I say we hit the afterlife. You know, do some shots. Ahí luego, V.
Ahí luego.
How things looking, Mr. V?
Oh, the drought. Okay.
Got the bot.
And how'd it go? Run into any trouble? And what about the Militech angle?
Sure, of course it was trouble. Royce couldn't have given two shits at you and Brickett shaking on it.
How'd you get him on board? You used the corpo woman?
Met with Stout, managed to strike a deal.
Well, well.
Gave me the chip with the scratch from Maelstrom. One thing Stout forgot to mention. The chip was carrying a virus.
Oldest corpo trick in the book. I assume Royce was less than understanding.
The virus attacked their systems. Scorched a handful of men.
Here's a glitch right here. Look at that. Just a shotgun sitting in the air.
You got some balls, Mr. V.
We're all set. Ready to go. What now?
Now we do the job I hired you to do. Grabbing that vital chip. We'll talk about the rest at the afterlife. See you there.
Great.
Here come the backup.
See you, Mr. V.
Job complete. Oop. I just gotta go there. Oh, that's the heist. Okay. That's the next thing. Alright, so we are going to call it here. It's still fairly low frame rate on the stream. Not 100% sure why. Oh, I see. Hold on. It said encoder overloaded. Okay. I see the issue, so I'll fix that for next time. Alright, so let's end this. Little taste of Cyberpunk. And back to here. Alright, so Raymond, thank you for joining. Lisa, Delvin, it was a pleasure. I hope you guys enjoyed. So overall, looks like we do have a significant snow event coming. And this is something we definitely have to take serious, even if it's not as high as we're expecting, which, based on past performance of the forecast models, it has not been that way. Delvin, you're very welcome. 'Cause a lot of the times it seems like for some reason the storm moves more out to sea than what the forecast models show, and that means the moisture stays away, so we would get less. If that happens, though, you still should prepare for what we talked about. The 6 to 12 inches for most of the area, and then some 12 to 18, and then once you get more north, maybe the Catskills, 2 feet of snow, up to. So that is a wrap. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do anything tomorrow. Number one, because I am working the late overnight, or not overnight, but the late night shift. And if I am not able to get internet or power, then I won't be doing that. And I probably won't be able to get much of a video out besides like a little cell phone video. So we'll see how that goes. So it was a pleasure. This is a tasty drink. If you guys want, you can, on any of my social media, message me. I'll tell you just what I put in there. Pretty tasty. That's a wrap. Thank you all for joining. Stay safe. If you're new to the channel and you're just watching this in the replay, you want to get more weather content, more cyberpunk, gaming content, feel free to hit the subscribe button below and then the bell icon right next to that to get notified whenever I go live like this or I upload a video. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe. Follow all the social distancing guidelines out there. We will get through this. Have a great rest of your night, and I will see you all in the next video.